We're finally here. It has been a long time coming and I am super excited. In today's video, I am going to be doing my very first resin cast. It has taken me a little while to get to this point. So we're starting the video off in my studio today just because I am actually still printing some stuff in the garage and I value my lungs. Side note, please wear a respirator mask if you're printing with a 3D printer and wear gloves. I've seen a lot of videos and tutorials that I've watched where people are just like touching stuff with their bare hands and it makes me a little nervous. So since the last time you saw me, I have been feverishly trying to learn how to use my Resin 3D printer. Some of you guys commented that there is a little bit more of a learning curve with this as opposed to my filament printer, and you were right. It took me kind of an embarrassing amount of time to actually even figure out how to get my prints correct. I have a handful of things that are actually files that I found on Thingiverse. Some of those I wanted to just try out. One, it was good practice with me learning how to like get good prints. And two, I wanted to try things that had different textures and more complicated things than I currently know how to make. And I have a couple of pieces that I actually made myself in Blender and figured out how to print. I am super proud of, but they're things that I learned how to make by following different tutorials. This is not a video where you're gonna sleep on the description. I'm gonna link everything that I'm using. I'm gonna link the Thingiverse files that I'm printing, and I'm also gonna link the 2 rings that I actually made myself in Blender. I'm gonna link the tutorials that I followed in order to make those rings. I think his channel was really great, super helpful. He goes really slow when he explains things in Blender. So I'm gonna link to those tutorials in case that's something you're interested in learning and following along. So a couple quick things. I'm using standard photopolymer resin. I am using Prestige Optima. I always confuse it.
Prestige worldwide.
I'm using Prestige Optima investment powder. We're going to be casting pretty similarly to how we've been casting in the past. So when I did the wax, the PLA, and also the polycast, I have been following the burnout schedule for just regular wax. It hasn't been too different. So there's a chart that's actually from the company that makes the investment powder. That's what I'm gonna be using. So it's pretty similar, except there's gonna be different times and holding temperatures for resin. But we're definitely gonna have an early day tomorrow because this is actually a 14-hour burnout. Oh, I'm gonna be also casting with bronze today instead of silver or the brass that we were casting with, I believe in the last video you guys saw. It's actually been a while since I've cast bronze. That is really a lot of what I cast back when I was taking my college courses, and silver is wildly priced right now. I'm gonna go ahead and go through all of my steps like usual, and editing Lauren will put a couple of little somethings in the corner every time I have something I think is important for you guys to know. So let's take it to the table. In case you're new here, quick FYI, I am not an expert. I am just an internet rando who really hopes my neighbors never ask what that smell is. These are the 2 that I actually made in Blender. Signet ring. You can see on some of these, I still have, let's see if it'll focus, where the supports are. I still have a little bit of like little nubbins there that I'm gonna actually have to sand out and clean up. But otherwise, I think that's in pretty good shape. Then I have this guy. If you can see, I did the tutorial where you put your name in a ring. That was actually pretty cool. All of these are from someone on Thingiverse, and I will link to the zip file with all of that stuff in there. But this is like a buckle. This is a little ring with some chain detail here. This is like a really pretty, looks like leaves ring. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and use my flush cutters to trim up the supports here. Let me know if you can think of something that's better than this. So far, this has worked pretty good for me.
All right, I think we got some of them. All right, let's get these cleaned up and then see what we actually got.
Even if this wasn't a perfect cast, I'm gonna just try to stay positive and use this as a learning opportunity. Well, somebody coughed on me, so hopefully I don't sound as bad as I actually feel, which is like a hot bag of garbage. We got everything here in our special CIA napkin here. So we have definitely had better casts. Have one on now, actually. But starting off positive, I will say that although we are missing quite a lot, some of the pieces that we were able to get, parts of them, are incredibly smooth. Like, that looks so nice. I feel like when I do get a good cast, once I cut and clean up the sprue area, I'll probably be able to just throw these straight in the tumbler. So that is a positive to focus on. I want to talk about what I'm gonna change moving forward, because I'm probably gonna go ahead and do another cast this upcoming week. I'm gonna redo this same cast with some tweaks. I already have the resin printer going in the garage, reprinting some stuff. So I might put in a clip if I haven't showed this to you already, but my investment was a little crumbly at the top. When I pulled it out, it could just be I was shaky handed and hit it up against something or whatever, but I've actually never had my investment look like that. So like I said, it could have just been I was klutzy and broke it, or it could have been that I did something where I messed up in my burnout process. So if you've watched any of my videos before this, you might know that I do not have a programmable kiln. So whenever I have to make adjustments to the temperature during the burnout schedule, I actually have to go and manually push buttons to change the temperature, which is usually not that big of a deal. At the time I bought the kiln, I actually saved a ton of money by buying a non-programmable version. As of the filming of this video, they actually have a version, the same kiln that I purchased for about, looks like about the same price. That actually comes programmable. So I considered swapping my kiln out, but it doesn't look super complicated. I see where they sell like kits to actually swap the brains out to make the kiln programmable. So I might actually swap it out just to make things easier. So here's where it might have caused me a little problems here, and this is obviously my fault, but if I'm in a situation during the burnout schedule where I have to get from, let's say 100 degrees Celsius to 200 degrees Celsius over the course of an hour, let's say at 1 p.m. I'm at 100 degrees. Well, I have to go in and manually maybe change the temperature to 150 degrees at like 1:30, and then make sure that at 2 o'clock we are at 200 degrees Celsius, if that makes sense. So it could have been that when I do my kind of manual step ups in order to do that gradual increase, I did too big of a number jump and didn't do it in a small enough increment, and maybe that caused some issues for me. So when I go into my next cast, I might be a little more granular in how I change my temperatures, just at least until I maybe make that upgrade to the kiln. Another thing I think I'm gonna have to make some tweaks to this next burnout is I think I need to change the way that I'm spruing my pieces. Some of these, I feel like if I had sprued these a little bit better, then I would have gotten a better cast. This, for example, I believe was the Panther ring. This was the one I kind of showed you. We got a good smooth area over here, but can you tell it's a Panther? I can't. We lost a ton of this, and it could have just been the way that I sprued this up. But with some of these, I'm definitely gonna have to just sprue it up a little bit differently. We missed this whole big chunk in the middle here, and this to me, it just looks like a spruing error. So I am going to do better this next time around. Another thing here that tells me that maybe I had some issues that weren't just with my spruing. Here is my tree trunk, right? Here's my button. So we pour down, this was the button. As you can see right here in the tree trunk is I've got some holes even there, and it makes me think that maybe something was also off with my temperature. When I actually did the cast, my flask was at about 650 and my bronze was heated up to about 1200 degrees Celsius. So it could have just been that I was pouring a little bit hot. I think the rule is 100 degrees over melting temperature. And I think the melting temperature of bronze, editing Lauren helped me out somewhere here, I think is somewhere in that like 1040 range. So I should have been maybe at like 1140, let's say. And I was like, oh, well, let's just do 12 because I still am kind of a shaky-handed pourer. I feel like today I really got that. I poured much better. There's another positive, right? I've gotten much faster in my pouring. I'm a little less nervous to pour. So I think I'm gonna pour a little bit cooler, maybe have my flask a little bit cooler this next go around. Comment down below if you're someone who casts bronze a lot, what temperature do you pour at? What temperature is your flask at? I think that's just something I'm gonna have to make a little adjustment to. We are going to redo this cast post haste. I definitely feel like I can do better than what we did. I will be sharing the next cast with you guys right after I change my filthy pickle. So I think that's going to be all from me today. As always, I really appreciate all your questions and comments and stuff like that. If I'm able to answer them, I will do it to the best of my ability. And so far, a lot of you guys have had some super helpful comments that I have taken into consideration. And as always, I appreciate any time that you spend with me. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in a couple of days. So go forth, be kind, be creative.